To quote George Pocock, "It's a great art, is rowing. It's the finest art there is. It's a symphony of motion. And when you're rowing well, why, it's near perfection. And when you near perfection, you're touching the divine. It touches the you of yous, which is your soul." My name is Dean Rutley. I am a merger and acquisition attorney. Crew has been described as the ultimate team sport. There's no quarterback, no wide receiver. Crew in an 8-man show is 8 guys harmonizing, pulling together what we like to call the swing. I first got involved with crew in 7th and 8th grade. I grew up only 7 blocks from the boathouse. It was a natural draw for me. I just loved the sport. I loved rowing. I chose to go to George Washington and row for GW because I wanted to be a political science major and ultimately go to law school. The great thing about GW was coming together with a new group of guys who would learn to bond together and achieve together and build that unflappable trust in each other. Rowing is a very painful sport. Your back hurts, your arms hurt, your legs hurt, but at the same time, when you row through that pain and you're in sync with all your teammates, you feel an economy of motion and a sense of exhilaration that most people never experience.
Harmony, balance, and rhythm. They're the 3 things that stay with you your whole life. Without them, civilization is out of whack. And that's why an oarsman, when he goes out in life, he can fight it. He can handle life. That's what he gets from rowing.
In competition, rowing is as hard a sport as it gets. There's no rest, no half times, you just row, which is why training is so important. And to get through that painful race, one has to overtrain. That has definitely carried over for me into my practice of law now for 30 years. It taught me about having resiliency. Successful M&A lawyers are those who are resilient, who can bounce back from setbacks and can find solutions to problems and obstacles that have stalled the deal. What differentiates attorneys is client service. You have to go beyond great legal skill. I find myself drawn to the training, to reading industry periodicals, to reading white papers, to doing continuing legal education so that I can be at my best when I'm actually in the race and assisting a client in a transaction.
Good thoughts have much to do with good rowing. It isn't enough for the muscles of a crew to work in unison. Their hearts and minds must also be as one.
Sometimes in a rowing show, I would be trying to do more than I was supposed to do. And what I found is that when you start letting go of that, when you start trusting your teammates, then you start rowing within yourself. And that's when everything kind of clicks together. Building a team in crew involves matching individual characteristics into one successful recipe. Similarly, I've learned in building teams for a merger and acquisition transaction to not just grab a tax lawyer and not just grab a labor employment lawyer, but find ones that work well with the overall team. They all need to pull their own weight to ensure that the deal, much like in the boat race, gets across the finish line with maximum speed and efficiency to the client's benefit.
Every good rowing coach, in his own way, imparts to his men the kind of self-discipline required to achieve the ultimate from mind, heart, and body. Which is why most ex-oarsmen will tell you they learn more fundamentally important lessons in the racing shell than in the classroom.
I had the great privilege of rowing not just for good coaches, but for great, excellent coaches. The lessons I learned from these coaches, I have had a sense and obligation to pay it forward. To pay forward the lessons of teamwork, resiliency, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence to the next generation. I've been blessed to have two sons who followed in my footsteps and both became oarsmen, rowing in high school and one in college, and becoming a parent volunteer and the equipment manager for two different crew teams over 7 years. And it was a great joy for me to be able to be around the kids, the young oarsmen, pass on some fundamental life lessons. Likewise, I have sought opportunities in our law firm to mentor and teach these same fundamental lessons to the young associates. Associates who will be serving our clients and running our law firm in the not too distant future. It only seems right to me to pass that on, to pay it forward.